This will constitute as the do not call Mexico after midnight or distribute combine like terms or move small value of x, add, subtract, multiply, divide. So what's my first step in solving the equation for number 3? Distribute. Of course you're not. You're looking at the boys outside.
No.
Then what do we got to do?
Whoa.
Combine like terms.
Move the 4.
Move the 4, so we're going to subtract out 4.
100. That's not 4.
Gosh, you guys are too critical. 104. And then x.
100.
Oh. You guys are so extra today. Extra. X will be equal to.
-5.
You yelled my 3rd period class today.
Yeah.
I know.
How about your 5th period?
Oh. By we, I mean,
They're okay.
I go into
My
your
5th
class.
period.
I went to the biology and I come back and it's like.
If I had to rank them, my 3rd period would be my least favorite.
wait,
No. That'd be a surprise.
Who don't I have in my 3rd period?
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ posted on his snap.
Yeah.
I think that the office wants me to go to T102 because they're changing my schedule. So I don't know if
They're gonna have someone have to come in here.
Okay, because my mom said that they want me to go there so she can call them.
Go there to class. Go there to class. Yeah.
I have Troy in the class.
Troy. Karami, Turner, Ahmad.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. I'm not alone is enough.
Judy Reed, she's talkative.
Oh, I remember this.
Troy, who else? Just a ton of kids that just talk.
Is it worse than our 3rd period last year?
Yes.
Is it worse than
Really?
Yes.
Like Julian and
Connor and Alex got fights across the
Jeremiah?
room.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
77.
X is equal to.
I think that's big for him.
What's up?
Here we go. Go ahead and copy down the following. Now, this is our final thing that we're going to look at. Quadrilateral proofs. What we need to know in order to show the proofs of each one of these. So copy those down. Now, in this process, let's look at the problem that we have down below. You guys have this right below it. Okay. It's a little bit tight, so I apologize, but try to draw it in as much as you guys can. It gives us, it says prove or disprove the statement. In this case, we're just going to prove it. What type of quadrilateral does it really look like? A rectangle. Okay. If we didn't know that, let's show what we have. Let's show what we have. And what I want you guys to do is on your guys' paper, if you guys can split it up, and mine is kind of super tight, I'm going to split it into 3 different ways. I'm going to split it up into distance, I'm going to slope, split it into slope, and we're going to split it into our findings. And I think I did more than what the other class was doing with the first one, but we're going to streamline this one. Okay, so we got to be able to find the distance, and these problems shouldn't be difficult. They're just going to be time consuming. This is why your test is only 3 questions long, is because you have to do multiple parts to each one of these. Okay. The first thing we want to be able to do is do our distance. And so I'm going to write my distance. Let's do RS first. To find the distance of RS, what equation do I use? Pythagorean theorem. This tells me I got to be able to make a triangle out of this. Top one being 2, the bottom one being 4. And we got to plug it into a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to shorten this up because you guys should be able to do this, right? What is 2 squared? 4 squared? 4 and 16? Take the square root. So my first distance here is 20. We got to do this 4 times with quadrilaterals. It's not as easy as we could do it with the other shapes. The next one we're going to do is our ST. So we're going to do ST. ST, we're going to go over how many? Down how many? So I'm going to plug those in. 6 squared plus 3 squared is equal to c squared. Just so I can save area, I'm going to do them really fast. 6 squared is 36. 3 squared is 9. 36 and 9 is what? So I'm going to do the square root of 40. Am I okay with doing that? I'm okay with doing that. So I'm just trying to save some room because I know you guys don't have room. You guys have to write a little tiny. Okay. If you need to work them out, please work them out. Okay. Calculators are always going to be acceptable. You can plug this directly into your calculator. Do we need decimals? No, leave them as radicals. They're giving you cleaner numbers. So this is ST. The next one we want to be able to do is TQ. So I'm going to go over how many, up how many? 2 and 4. So let's do TQ. Did we already do 2 and 4? So I'm going to super streamline this. We're going to get the square root of what? So I've already done that one. If it happens to come like this on side of a test, you can tell me. You can do just this, and I'm okay with that. This is acceptable to me. Okay, you don't need to show all the work again. Make it more time consuming. The last one that I want to see here is RQ. Do you think we're going to have the same length with RQ? Yeah. So RQ, its setup is going to be down 3 over 6. So 6 squared plus 3 squared is equal to c squared. So this is going to give me, again, the square root of 45. And I'm sorry for the people back there if you can't see it. Okay. We have something special about here. Okay, let's go ahead and just kind of fill this into our findings. What do we come to find out with our sides of our quadrilateral? What do we come to find out? 2 are not parallel. Not yet. We can't say that yet. Congruent. We have 2 sides congruent. What's another word for congruent? Equal. Okay, they're 2 congruent sides. So automatically, what quadrilaterals get eliminated? Square, rhombus, isosceles, trapezoid. That only uses what? It only uses the rectangle. Now we want to be able to show a little bit more, so we're going to have to do that still. So let's go ahead and do the slopes of them. We got to be able to apply the slopes. So we're bringing everything that we've learned. Last week we did slopes. This week we did distance formula. We're bringing it all together to solve these out. So what is the slope of RS? 4/2. We are going to reduce it a little bit, but we're just keeping it cool for the time being. What about the slope for ST? Negative 3/6. Going down 3/6. Our TQ? 4. Yeah, or 4/2. 4/2. And RQ will be what? Negative 3/6. Now, your calculator will reduce these. Your calculator should reduce these. RS should give us 2. ST should give me negative 1/2. TQ is 2. Negative 3/6 is 1/2. What do we have? The easiest one to find out. What's the easiest one to determine what slopes? Two pairs are parallel.
Yeah.
Two pairs parallel. What else do we know? Do we have any perpendiculars? These are perpendicular. This is perpendicular. These two are perpendicular. This last one is perpendicular. Can I do that? Yeah. Then what does that tell us? I have how many pairs?
4.
Count.
I am useless.
4 pairs perpendicular. 2 parallel sides, 4 pairs are perpendicular. 2 sides are congruent sides. What does it have to be? Rectangle. I'm just going to write it inside here. Yes. We have 4 of them. We have 4 of them. We have the inside here for 1. Outside here for 2. Then let me do it this way. If this makes sense. We have, let me make this more sense. I see what you're getting at. This one's parallel. This one's perpendicular. This one is also perpendicular to this. Then we also have this one perpendicular. And then this one also would be back with, so that's 1, 2, 3. And then the fourth would be 1, 2, the last. TQRQ. Yeah. What's the mathematical way to show perpendicular? -1. 2/1 times -1/2 would give me what? Which would make it perpendicular. Just want to throw it out there as well. Is this easy or hard? It's easy. So is it time consuming? Yes. Is it time consuming? Yes. Yeah, but it shouldn't be hard. We're doing distance, slope. Tell me what you find. Done. Okay. So let's look at another one. Let's look at another one. So I'm going to streamline this one a little bit more. So we're given a quadrilateral. What do you think it's supposed to be? Trap. So what type of figure do you think it might be? Let's see if it is. Let's see if it is. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't done this yet. First thing to really do for this, what happened? First thing we've got to really do is plot up our points. So do me a favor and plot the points. All right, Mr. Reed, we're plotting our points. Right. Mr. Reed Brown, back there. Getting a little sleepy back there. Don't get sleepy. Yeah. Struggle's real. Went to bed at 10:30 last night. I was so happy with myself.
I went to bed at like 1 a.m.
From where? North Carolina. I talked to my brother yesterday for about an hour. He lives in Orlando, Florida, and is getting ready for Hurricane Irma that went from a Category 4 to a Category 5. They're going to find out today what's going to happen. He's never been in a hurricane. I've never been in a hurricane. His wife and him got hurricane, packets. My mom is like freaking out. She's scared. It's a mom thing, but I don't know yet. I'm scared for him too. I'm scared for him too because it's not, if they're gonna evacuate, it's gonna hit Saturday, so they're gonna have to leave Saturday, leaving everything that they've ever owned into 2 cars. So it's kind of, will this house be back? I don't know. Yeah, the backup of it. Yes, sir. Let's see if it is. So, I'll talk to him again today. I'm worried for him. He's my twin.
Mom's in Thailand and her dad's in Florida.
Ooh. And then there's another 2 forming. Another 2 forming. Yeah. Right? Is that what they're called? Really? Yeah. Global warming at its finest. Global warming at its finest.
And DOC is still happening. Like, right? There's 3 fires, 1 state underwater, 3 hurricanes, and
you want to do DACA. So freaking stupid. Oh my
That's like
God.
Okay. Okay, now let's kind of figure this out. Let's do this real quick. Okay. So I'm still splitting it up, and this is a way that you guys want to be able to see it too. Scary times, and all we need is a bad, no, we need a bad earthquake to really hit us, and we're really overdue for one.
Isn't Oregon on fire too?
Oregon's on fire.
I think Dylan was like,
We're due for one. We're due for one. Oh yeah. Okay. Now looking at our picture, what does it look like? Looks like a trapezoid, but let's see if it is. We got to be able to see at least 1 parallel sides, and let's see if the sides are congruent. We definitely know they're not. What's the easiest one to do? RT. Why RT? It's straight up and down. We don't have to do any calculations. So how much is that? What do we have? 5. So let's just mark it RT. RT is 5. That's the easiest one to do. Let's find the lengths of the other sides as well, though. We got to make sure that we're going to be able to determine the lengths of all these. The next pair that we're going to do here is RA. What do we have for RA? 2 and 9. So I'm gonna super simplify this out as I did. So R and what was it? R and A.
Yeah.
So 2 and 9. 9 squared is 81. 4 squared is, or 2 squared is 4. So 81 and 4 is
85.
So I'm gonna get square root of. Now it's important that you show work. I'm not showing you work, but you should be able to extrapolate from there, right? Extrapolate. Educated. Yeah, for RT, if it's vertical, I'm not gonna have you. Yeah, I'm not gonna be super critical on you on that. Like, how do you even show work for that? Just count in the box, You have to put dots on the box now. Okay. The next one that I want to do is AP. What's the triangle that will form from there? Down 3. So 1 and 3. 1 squared is 1. 3 squared is 9. So 1 and 9 is 10. So again, I'm not showing a lot of work. I'm going to do it for our last one for this. So I'm just creating these slopes pretty fast. But I just want to prove a point on this one. I'm doing from TP. Let's do TP. Tectonic plates. There you go. We have it 10 by 4. So square root of 116. Is that what we got? If I had to give the equations, this would have been, because I feel bad not being able to show all you guys this. That's our equation for the first one. The second one would be the third one will be, does that help you guys out a little bit? Okay, those are the equations we used. Okay, but I'm just showing a streamlined way to doing this. Let's go ahead and look at our slopes, right? Let's look at our slopes of these cases. So what is the slope of S? I know it's kind of one that we haven't done in a while. What would be S? Or sorry, no, RT. Or undefined, vertical line, undefined. Yeah, you could have told me 5 over 0. 5 over 0, it still would have been undefined. RA is what? Yes, is 2 over 9. So this is our slope. What about AP? And our final one of TP, 4 over 10. Hello. Thank you. New crew. I'll get you guys in a minute. Logan's not here. Oh, you're doing the summer. 6-3? June 3rd? This is summer birthday. Okay. What do we know about, what kind of conclusions can we come up with our distance? What do we know? Are any of them congruent? So no congruent sides. What about the slopes? Are any of them parallel? Any of them perpendicular? So no parallel or perpendicular sides. So what would that constitute? Trapezoid has to have at least one pair of. It's just a quadrilateral. There's no definition to it. It's just a four-sided figure. So it's a quadrilateral. So even though it's not on our sheet, if we can't find anything, if we can't make a conclusion out of anything, we can't really do it. So that's what we want to be able to get from here is if even though we showed the sides, we showed everything, there's nothing there for us to show, we can't show it. So in this case, even though it might look like a trapezoid, it might say trap to find it. If there's no trapezoid, we don't have a parallel sides, we got nothing. Can't go off of anything. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let's do one more. We're going to do the bottom right one because I don't like the one before that. Yeah, it's a square. I don't like that last one. Excuse me. Let's look at this one. What's up? I'll have a bender. I'll have a bender for you. You need a bender? Like right now? You're like bleeding? Where are you bleeding? Okay, you're not dying. Okay, let's look at this last one. Let's plot this last one. We're going to go over 4, up 1. So it's the last one, the bottom left, or the bottom right. I'm just kidding.
graph on this one smaller than
Because I'm trying to make room for it. Over 1, up 5. Back 3, up 2. And then 0, negative 2 would be now what type of figure does it tell us to prove? Square. By definition of a square, what does it tell us we got to show? 4 right angles, 4 congruent sides. So we got to make sure that we're showing everything. And this is a culmination of everything. This is everything in one go. Okay, this is the head honcho. This is the biggest one to prove. Now, is it that hard to do? No. We're showing distance, we're showing slope, we're doing, that's it. Okay? So let's go ahead and do this. Do you want me to show you every step, or do you mind me just doing the short steps? Short steps? Short steps? Does it make sense what I'm doing though, right? Okay. In the event that it doesn't, if you raise your hand, I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay. And I'll write up the equations at the top. Will that help out? Will that help out? So, okay. Let's go ahead and start this off. Let's do CB. Let's do the distance from CB. Oh, we got to split this up, huh? We said we were always going to split it up.
Yeah.
So this is distance. The next one's going to be slope. And this one's going to be findings. So our distance from CB is going to be what? 3, 4? Up 3 over 4. So 3 squared and 4 squared gives me 25. Square root of 25? 5. The way that I got this equation, guys, just so you can remember how to do this. Over 3 over 5. So 4, 3 here. So this will be 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to c squared. We're going to get 9 plus 16 is equal to c squared. We're going to get 25 is equal to c squared. And then we're going to get 5. Okay? So in case you remember how I got that, just want to throw it out there. BA. Let's look at BA. 4 and 3 again. So we're essentially using the same numbers. Down 4, yes. So BA will still be 5. What about AD? Over 4 up 3. So it's still going to give us 5. And again, our last one, DC, is also going to be 5. So what conclusions can we just come up with these for? They're what? It's not a square yet. 4 congruent sides. So 4 congruent sides. And that's what we want to put in our findings up here too. We have 4 congruent sides. Okay. What's the last thing I have to show? Slopes, right? If we have 4 right angles, we're good. So let's check out our slopes. Our slopes from CB. Where's my slope from CB? 3 over 4. Let me try to write this out a little bit nicer. We have BA. Negative 4 over 3. Got to go in reverse. The negatives do count when we're talking about slope, right? Slope is going up is positive. If we're going down, we're negative. So in this case, BA is going downwards for you guys' reference. And then we want to do AD. AD is going what? 3 over 4? Yes, DC is 3 over 4. DC, right? Is negative 4 over 3. Okay, just to help you guys understand what I'm writing out here, I want to be able to see what pairs we're going to look at. So let's look at this corner right here to make sure that we're actually doing this correctly. Is CB, how are CB and CD related? Are they congruent or perpendicular? Yes, they are perpendicular. Or DC, okay, DC. Okay, that's our first perpendicular. If we do BC, which is this side, and BA, are those two perpendicular? Those are perpendicular. We also have this next one, which is BA, and the bottom one will be AD. Those are perpendicular. Those slopes are perpendicular. And then our last one will be DA and CD, which is also perpendicular. So I'm just looking at the corners of these to see if they're perpendicular. What would be the mathematical way to show that? Just if I had to give you guys a choice. -1. So if I do CB, if I wanted to show this for CB, guys, CB was 3/4, and CD, -4/3. If you multiply those, we're going to get -1, which will make it perpendicular. Okay. So we have 4 right angles, 4 congruent side, 4 angles. What does that make it be? Square. So we just did the hardest proof that you guys can do. Easy or hard? Cool beans. One more time. That is so acceptable.
Email. Yeah. It's a stop spreading it. So rude. Stop. I'm so watching. I need a band. I need a band.
Yeah, sorry. Boom.
I was like, well, did it for the good. It's fun time.
Do me a favor, really quick. Do 1, 2, and 3. 4 is optional. 1, 2, 3, 4 is optional. Practice.
A brand name? And I need alcohol. Well, get it together. There's a booth for Facebook. Booth. A booth for Facebook. I love the
Here, fix your boo-boo.
It's so gross because you spread it too. You're like, why did you? Why? You spread it. So gross.
Yeah, I started to like touch.
Why?
They like anxiety.
Oh my god, that's so gross.
Put this in my bag.
Logan's not here. Natalie! Come here. Happy birthday. Miss Stockton. Yeah, Logan's not here. My wife got our cats for names today. Okay.